What's up guys, Jake here. In this video, let's do an update to Altisource Portfolio Solutions. It's been a couple months since I talked about their stock, but I knew that a newsworthy event had occurred because I checked my Schwab account this morning and it said they were up 18%. Anytime a stock goes up 18% one day, you know that there's probably a press release from the company. So if you ever want to investigate for yourself, just go to Google, type in the name of the company that you're invested in, and then add investor relations. This will take us to the investor relations page of Altisource, and we can see that they put out a press release on October 5th, and then another one today on October 7th. Let's go over these two press releases in this video. But before we get to the news, let's first look at Altisource's stock graph. And the first time I mentioned this stock to you guys was at the end of June when President Biden announced that he was going to let the moratorium on evictions and foreclosures end. That's primarily how Altisource makes most of its money. The stock then immediately shot up. However, Congress then got unhappy and basically the administration reversed course, and the CDC said that they weren't going to let the moratorium end. But at some point around here, potentially, the Supreme Court stepped in and the Supreme Court struck it down. So the moratorium was allowed to end. And I think the stock price then shot back up. Over the last 2 months, it was drifting back down, and then we have the events of today. Now, if you just look at this chart, guys, you're seeing a very strong support level from this green line. This green line is the 50-day moving average. The purple is the 200, the blue is the 100. So there was support here, shot up, pulled back to the 50-day, went up, pulled back to the 50-day, went up, pulled back to the 50-day. So if you're kicking yourself that you didn't buy it here, or potentially you want to add to this position, just wait a couple weeks. It's probably going to pull back once again to the green line, which is the 50-day moving average. Something you're going to want to watch out for, though, is that Altisource is doing their quarterly earnings release on October 27th, meaning that it's probably going to be good news in that we'll get to the press releases. But I don't think there's going to be any bad news, any cataclysmic news that will make the stock crash. I think when they give their earnings on October 7th, it can only be good. We know what's going to happen now. So I think the stock shot up huge. It's going to pull back to at least the 20. If you want to add to your position or enter a position, just let it pull back first. Don't buy it when it's at these highs. So the two press releases put out by Altisource, the first one being Altisource offers cryptocurrency holders a game-changing way to buy real estate. Now, what is the financial impact of this? We don't know yet. We don't know how many people are going to take advantage of this service, but buyers who select Premium Title, an Altisource affiliate, as their title and escrow provider will be given an opportunity to purchase property using cryptocurrency. This is basically a shortcut. Until recently, the only feasible way to buy real estate with cryptocurrency was to convert the cryptocurrency into government currency like US dollars, transfer the money to a personal account, wire the funds to a traditional bank, and then move it into the escrow agency. So this service that Altisource is going to be providing through websites like Equator.com and Hubzu.com, you no longer have to convert your crypto into US dollars. You can purchase real estate now directly using your crypto. And the title company, I think, is accepting Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dash, Ethereum, and Bitcoin Cash at this time. Once again, we don't really know exactly how profitable or how many people will take advantage of this service, but it is nice to see Altisource looking for alternative revenue streams to diversify their holdings. But that was good, but the big news was this second one on October 7th. Altisource announces definitive agreement to sell Pointillist Subsidiary. So I've never heard of Pointillist, but we'll get to the details of this. And Altisource was a majority owner, and it entered into an agreement to sell all of its equity interest in Pointillist to Genesys Cloud Services. So basically, Altisource was a controlling interest in this company, Pointillist, and they've now sold it all to this company, Genesys. Just going to be honest with you guys, never heard of either of those companies before. Potentially, they're more popular or more used or more well-known in Europe. The purchase price is $150 million, $145 million upfront. However, after pre-tax and after-tax gain will be approximately $107 million from the sale, which is to be anticipated closed before the end of 2021, which is this year. So in the next 2 months, basically, Altisource is giving up their controlling interest in this company, and then they're going to have $107 million on the books. Why is this good? Well, you can just look at their fundamentals. So let's go back to macro trends, and I just want to show you a couple things to start out. First of all, I just like saying this, but Altisource has not been diluting shareholder equity. They've not been issuing new stock, which is something I like to see. But let's go to assets and liabilities, and let's look at their cash on hand to see what they got going on here. And their cash on hand was only $35 million, and they just sold this controlling interest for $150, but $107 million after tax. So this blue bar, they were running out of cash basically, is going to shoot back up to not here, but about here, meaning that even though they're not operating at a profit yet, they might need to wait another couple months before they can basically ramp up their eviction and foreclosure side of their industry. But they're not going to go bankrupt. They freed up enough cash, and they probably got a really good valuation and a really good amount of money. And I think this surprised investors that Altisource was able to pull this off. They were able to get $150 million for their equity in this other company. So let's go to, let's see here, assets and liabilities. We'll click on shareholder equity. And shareholder equity, which is assets minus debts, it's negative. It's negative $124 million right now. But they just sold something for 150 or 107 after tax. So this, ideally, this should be a net neutral event if the company was accurately valued. Altisource owned this equity in, what was the name of the company? In Pointillist, meaning if it wasn't valued at 150 million, if it was worth less, then this estimate here was not accurate. The fact that they were able to get so much money for selling this controlling interest, this blue bar is going to change. It's going to shrink probably back down to here. They'll still be negative for shareholder equity, which is not good, but the company is proving that it is resilient, it's not going to go bankrupt, and it will be able to survive until their foreclosure side of their business recuperates. So all around good news for Altisource. The share price shot up. We're not going to get surprised, I think, by anything on October 27th because they're going to announce, hey, we got all this cash on the books now. We got that line of credits. We'll be able to survive until 2022 and 2023. Once again, guys, eye on the prize here, how well this stock did back during the 2009 recession. So if we click on Max, this stock was a high of 169, and they've been buying back shares the last decade, so there are fewer shares in existence. When I first talked about this stock, I said, you know, if you want to hold this for 3 to 5 years, if there's any kind of downturn in the economy and the housing market contracts at all, this company makes a fortune, and the share price of the company could easily shoot up to these levels again. Will the real estate industry suffer as much as they did in 2009, 2010? No, but can this stock get back to $14, $20? I definitely think so. So I'm up 51% on my position overall. It's only $2,400, but I'm still happy with this being 10% of my portfolio in my Schwab accounts. Do I see myself adding anything to it? Probably not. I'm just gonna shop for other deals. But it is fun to watch, and I just don't see how I'm going to lose this 51% gain that I've made over the last 3 months. Okay guys, if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up so the algorithm knows it's good. If you have any comments or questions or stock tips you want me to check out, leave me a comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. Till the next video, take care.